In 2021, an 18-year-old Guinean player was so good that he was starting next to Messi every week for Barcelona. On his debut, he provided an assist and became the youngest player ever to register an assist on his Barcelona debut. And in his next match, he entered Barca's history. Messi assisted him, and somehow from between 5 defenders, he scored an absolute screamer. With that goal, he became the 4th youngest player ever to score for Barcelona. Messi hugged him and celebrated with him, but famously, he wanted more money and left Barca. You might not believe it, but that goal for Barcelona ended up being 50% of his entire career goals. In 5 years, Moriba has managed to score only 1 goal for all the clubs he played for.
Did you see that? Now, this video you saw on Moriba tells a whole lot of things that I've always said. I've made a video on Lionel Messi's teammate in Inter Miami that said, I'm living my best life. You see, let me tell you something. Anybody, you people don't understand why Rodrigo de Paul abandoned Atletico and abandoned Europe to come and play in Inter Miami. I started enjoying trophies. Started enjoying playing with Lionel Messi. See, being a playmate to Lionel Messi is an achievement than playing with some top European clubs. If you doubt me, go and watch Thierry Henry. Listen to what he said. Thierry Henry will tell you, see, listen, I don't care. I don't care what I've achieved in the past. I don't care who does it. I don't care whether I do it or whether I don't do it. But see, that person that is ready to give me that victory, I'm ready to follow him. This was Thierry Henry's statement about Lionel Messi. Believe me, Thierry Henry was the biggest thing in English Premier League. Thierry Henry was single-handedly destroying clubs. Single-handedly. I will never forget what Thierry Henry did to Liverpool. I will never forget what he did to Chelsea and all these clubs. Big players. Thierry Henry was waving them off just by stretching himself. That is an extent of deeds. Bro, Arsenal was their closest in the UEFA Champions League because of Thierry Henry. If it wasn't because of Barcelona at that time, Thierry Henry would have given Arsenal their one and only Champions League trophy. It was just too much then. Thierry Henry was the only person you could see in English Premier League at that time that could single-handedly take a ball and score a goal. Ankara Messi, Thierry Henry was the only person that was capable of doing that thing Lionel Messi did to Real Madrid in Champions League. Single-handedly defeating about 7 guys and scoring a goal against the world greatest goalkeeper. Thierry Henry could do that in English Premier League because he was really strong, really fast, and more determined. But this Thierry Henry came to Barcelona and saw what he could not fathom. That's why Thierry Henry is in the best position to teach us about Lionel Messi, because this guy had lived in a world of his own. We don't want to talk about Zlatan. We don't. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. You people, see, let me tell you something. Me, if I played football in the era of Lionel Messi, my greatest achievement is to be in the same team with Messi. I don't care how young I am. If he goes to Inter Miami, I will go to Inter Miami. I will go to MLS, Inter Miami. No matter how good I am in Europe, no matter how Europe desires me. When Lionel Messi hangs his boots, I will come back to Europe. You don't get it. Let me tell you what happened in Barcelona. You see, in 2020, a lot of players were signed into Barcelona, including Con Aguero. So there was this excitement in the air for a lot of players to play with Lionel Messi. A lot of players were ready to play with Lionel Messi. They were so happy. Con Aguero leaving Manchester City to play with Messi finally. Oh, it's going to be great. And suddenly, the next thing we heard was that Lionel Messi left Barcelona. And Con Aguero suddenly started having a heart problem. We saw Jordi Alba at the bench, breathing so profusely. A lot of things were scattered. So many players that came to Barcelona to have the privilege of sharing a training ground with Lionel Messi were scattered. They were demoralized. They were freaking demoralized. Barcelona suddenly became distasteful. The essence of Barcelona left. You don't get it. And Moriba, what has Moriba achieved outside playing with Lionel Messi? There were so many of them. This thing is not just with Moriba. What has he achieved as outside playing with Lionel Messi? As at that time, there were so many of them. Araujo that played with Lionel Messi. So many of them started on Pedri and a number of them. These people share the ground. Ricky Puig, these people share the ground. These young boys, as at that time, Lionel Messi and a very few oldies were just people. Others were youngies. It got to a point that Lionel Messi, in fact, Barcelona was just Lionel Messi bringing up these youngies. So it was really hard for Barcelona to win a lot of things. However, Lionel Messi was still winning things with these youngies. There was Dembele, there was a number of them. Lionel Messi was single-handedly training these youngies. But exactly what he's doing in Inter Miami. Come on, let's go now. Let's go. Think this through now.